Hey guys, it's Tony from Pro Edge Paintball, and today we're going to be going over the entry-level speed feeds for hoppers like the Spire IR, IR2, Spires 3, 4, and 5, as well as the HK Sonic loader. All of these use the same lid style, so all of these speed feeds will fit on all of those hoppers. Let's get into it. HK makes the Epic speed feed for these loaders, and they come in red, green, white, gold, pink, blue, purple, and black. The Virtue Crown SFR is made by Virtue, and that's their version of their entry-level speed feed, and it comes in white, green, red, black, purple, blue, and pink. All of these are available online at proedgepaintball.com, so go check them out there. But let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the HK speed feed first, the Epic. It's a plastic ring that holds the rubber speed feed in place. It uses four screws on the back to hold the two-piece ring together. One of the neat things about this is that there's a bunch of teeth, and so once you get paint through it, it's definitely going to be hard for it to come out because there's so many teeth. Like, you don't have to worry about running and balls just everywhere. But the downside is that it is rubber, and so over time or exposure to like high heat, things like that, will cause these teeth to sag in, and you'll eventually need to replace this whole rubber piece. That's okay though, because it uses four screws back here. This piece splits apart, and you can replace it with one of HK's Epic speed feeds for the rotor. It's the same thing. They come in a bunch of different colors, so you do have options when you want to replace the rubber, get some cool colors, make some cool color combos. So that is one of the nice things. The plastic on the ring is kind of bendy, but I don't think it's going to break. The button back here for where it slots into the lever or hinge for the door, for the lid, this part here, it's a little soft, but I don't think it's just going to come loose. And then lastly, that lock on the back, this is a pretty stiff spring, but it opens real easily. I don't think it's just going to pop open while you're playing. I don't think you have to worry about it just springing up and be like, oh, I got to lock it back into place. Because that, like I said, that spring is really stiff, but the way they work, how it opens, makes it real easy to do. So let's go ahead and install it on the Spire IR2. And if you're wondering how to do it, there's a button right here. You push in and pull out, and your lid comes right out. And then you just slot it in to the hinge. There you go. And it's installed. See, it's dangling from it. That's why I said I don't think, even though it's a little soft for that button, that it's going to come loose. I think you're fine. And then the lever right back here, just push down on it. It opens up the latch, and it will latch in that slot right there. And I don't think, like I said, that spring is real stiff, but the way the lever is for this lock, this latch, it moves real easily, so it makes it a lot easier to pop open, fill your hopper before you go out and play, and then lock it back in place, and then use your pods to load up while you're playing the game. I like that latch. I think it's a good latch. But yeah, that's what it looks like on the hopper, so there we go on that. Now let's take a look at the Virtue Crown SFR. This is their version of an entry-level speed feed for those hoppers like the Sonic and the IR2. It also uses a plastic ring construction. The button back here for its hinge is nowhere near as soft as it is for the HK one. It's stiff, and it's definitely not going anywhere. The latch or lock for the back, it opens in like into the speed feed, and so I'm going to be honest, it's a little stiff, a little hard to work on, but once you got it locked into place, because you hear it click open, and you hear it shut, you know it's not going anywhere. I don't think you have to worry about it popping open on you while you're playing either, and that's a blessing. Well, let's go ahead and throw it on to our sonic loader that we have right here, and it's the same thing as the IR2. Just push on the button and lift the lid right out, and then slot it into the hinge. You hear it click into place, and then we got that lock right here where it's opening, and you slot it in to the slot in the back, and it's locked into place. Can't really grab this one by the loader because the loader's a little bit wider than the Speedfeed, but there we go. Oh, and let's dangle it as well. So yeah, definitely not going anywhere. Locks into place. It locks into place well, and they look cool on here, so I'm a big fan of that. Next, let's get into those rubber teeth. The way these work is that there is a plastic on top of the rubber tooth that acts as a backstop for these teeth, so it's a lot harder for it to come up, so it's going to be even harder for it to let paint out. Once it's in there, it's in there. But to spring them back up when they're going down is just rubber. Let's see if we... So there you go. You can see it right there. So it's just rubber that springs these back. And so eventually this rubber will wear out and you'll have to replace it. But the nice thing about this is it uses teeth. And these teeth are individual. It's not a whole ring like the HK one. So there are little buttons on the underside of the ring that you can push and then just pull the teeth out. So like right there. So if I push on it, you can kind of hear it click, and then the tooth just comes out. And so you just replace teeth as they start to sag when they start to sag. So you don't have to replace a whole thing at one time just because a part of it's going bad. And this Speedfeed comes with an extra tooth. So you already got one right off the rip if you ever need to replace one, which I'm a big fan of. So let's compare the two. So the plastic between the two I think is very similar. The lock though on the HK one, I just like it a lot more. I think it works better. It opens way easier because when I'm between points, I pop that lid open and I pour paint in from a bag, so I don't have to like load a pod, dump it in, partially load another pod, and dump it in. Like I just pop the lid open, pour the bag in there till it's full, close the lid, go on about my day. And so like I like that because of how easy this is, but I know it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm a big fan of that. Next, let's look at the rubber teeth. The rubber teeth on the HK one, once they start to sag, you're going to have to buy you're going to either buy a whole new Speedfeed or you're going to buy one of these HK rotor Speedfeeds to replace the rubber in there. And so if you're going to buy the whole rubber, that's $18, $19 for this, whereas these teeth are a lot cheaper. I want to say they're just a couple of bucks, like $3 or $4. But yeah, so it's not quite the same amount that you're having to pay with this. And so I do like that I can just pull one tooth out as it sags, replace it, and I don't have to spend a bunch of money. And then lastly, the price point. The HK Speedfeed comes in at $24.95, whereas the Crown Speedfeed comes in at $29.95. And I think that ekes out for in favor of the HK Army Epic Speedfeed a bit more, because this is $30, whereas Virtue's Crown Speedfeed 2, which is their like higher end version, is $39.95, or the Bunker Kings NTR is $44.95. And so for a few bucks more, I don't have to deal with rubber teeth. I can get a plastic tooth. And so if I'm going to be spending just a few bucks more to get that, why wouldn't I get that? But if you're buying one of these, you're trying to save some money. So when these come in at $24.95, 25 bucks, it puts that price point far enough away from a better Speedfeed that I'm all like, you know what, yeah, like, this seems reasonable to me, I'm totally going to buy it. So I think overall, for me, if I'm buying an entry-level speed feed for one of my hoppers, I'm definitely going to get the HK Epic Speed Feed. I just think it's a much better price point. I like that the teeth, like, it sucks that the teeth like have to be replaced all at once, but they make a bunch of these colors, so I can get something really cool. So I like that customability. And then, like I said, I love this latch. It works so well, and it's not going to pop open, and that's what sold it for me. Those three things. That's why I would get the HK Epic Speed Feed for Virtue and Sonic Loader over the Virtue Crown SFR. I hope this video answered any questions you guys might have had, but if you still have questions, please drop them down in the comments section, and we'll do our best to answer them as fast as we can. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comment section as well. Also, we hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please give us a like and a share, and don't forget to subscribe. That way you keep seeing content like this from us as soon as it's posted. All of these speed feeds are available in store or online at proedgepaintball.com. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.